The thing I wanted to talk about this whatever this is was something that I've noticed that's been happening from roughly around 17, 18 onwards, and I'm 22 now. I'm turning 23 in just over 2 months, and it's kind of just about time, my relationship with time. I remember as a kid how slow it used to be, and how at some points I think I wanted time to speed up, or I felt like a year was so long. And I've talked to people about this, that the more years you get under your belt, relatively a year doesn't feel as much. For example, if I'm 5 years old, 1 year is a fifth of my life. So it's a large percentage of the time I've experienced and perceived. When you're 50, 1 year is 1/50th of your life because you've got so many notched under your belt. Your perspective on it is different because you've done it more, which is really interesting. I've noticed from, especially after finishing high school, from about 18 to now, 22/23, these like past 4 years have gone by like just insane. That it kind of feels like I was 19 yesterday. In a way, there's obviously as well a lot has happened, but in a way I feel like it's gone really, really quickly comparatively to, say, from age 10 to 10 to from age 10 to 14. And I think the last year or so, I've become increasingly aware about how quick the last couple of years have gone and how there is a lot of time in life, but there also isn't. And it sent me into a bit of a panic because I was just like, shit, it's going so fast. And on top of that, I think one of the reasons why I feel like it's going fast is because I feel as if I've been sleepwalking or asleep at the wheel for, in particular, the last 4, 5 years. I think I've been asleep at the wheel because I've gotten into a routine. I was of the mind that I've got heaps of time, I'll do that later. I'll do that next year, or I'll do that in 6 months. Or, I'm only 19, so I still have a bit of time, that kind of talk. And that I've kept telling myself that for so long that it's all kind of gone by me. And then you have these kind of moments every so often where you're like, holy shit, something might come to mind of something that you'd been planning to do. You forget about it, and then a year or two later, it kind of pops in your mind again. And you're reminded of something that you wanted to do, or you told yourself you'd do, or you told your friends or your family that's something you wanted to do. And life went by, and you completely forgot about it. And then, like 2 years later, you realize, I still haven't done that. And it kind of I've had these thoughts, and it takes you back. Holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. It's going, it's going, it's going. Another reason why I think I feel at times I'm sleepwalking through life is, and I've talked to some people about this, and I've seen it on social media, is getting used to doing the same thing and doing the same thing because it's comfortable, such as the same morning routine or the same thing when you go to bed. Uh, in particular, I'm talking about phone use. I think about it a lot, especially the mindless phone use. I think devices can be great for research and learning, but that's much more active than just a scroll or the consuming of very like random shit. Where was I going with this? I've noticed that has also contributed to that. Plus, just me doing the same stuff. And I talked to my friend about this of how can I slow down time so that I don't get this feeling where a year goes by and I can't really remember what happened, or there's not much. Yeah, it just goes like that. And I think something that really helps is constantly being present. And then the next question is, well, how do you be present? Like, what does that mean, being present? And I realized that maybe it's about how can I keep my brain active more often and not just like on autopilot, because we do at times just go into autopilot. It's very easy to do, especially when you're tired or you feel stuck, or even if you're just not onto it, it can just slip you by. And that's when I notice things just zip by a little bit. I found the best way to combat that is just through learning and trying new things and doing uncomfortable things. I think those three things kind of all come together. Uh, help might help with this feeling of things coming by and not really feeling awake in life. Now, I'm sure there's a proper terminology for this. I'm just kind of, yes, so those three things. And I won't, like, it was a little thing I said to my friend. Why don't we just, we both like to get coffee together. And there was a large period of time where we would go get coffee from the same cafe most mornings. And what we've been trying to do more recently is every time we go to get a coffee, why not go somewhere different? Why not keep that kind of the excitement of doing something new? And that's what I think young people, and I think that's why we get so fascinated over young people and they like really young kids, especially. There's something as I've gotten older that I've noticed is so captivating about younger people is the fact that everything is so new and there's so much that you're learning for the first time. When you get older, I've noticed I'm still really young. I'm acting like I'm an old fart, but as you get older into your 20s, it's very easy to, everything becomes kind of familiar. You know, you've kind of, watching kids grow from like, a young kid to, 18, there's so many new things in there. But as you get older, those new things aren't as right there. When you're younger, it's, uh, you know, learning how to drive or like all those little things that you do when you grow up. Whereas when you're an adult, it's very easy to just not learn new things. I think as a young person, it's all there, very like, you can't really avoid the fact that you have to learn new things. I've noticed as an adult, if you really want, if you can avoid not learning much. And I think that's why, I think that's why maybe I think these last 4 or 5 years have gone really fast, because I haven't spent time trying new things and making myself uncomfortable and just exploring and being curious. You get stuck in routines and it can make you fall asleep at the wheel because you're just driving on a straight road and there's nothing really. You're just falling into a bit of a hypnosis versus a road where it's a bit, this is a shit metaphor, but if it's a road where it's windy or you're turning and you're not sure what's going to happen next versus a road you've taken 100,000 times, there is something that happens to your brain and yourself when you do something new, and it just makes you more switched on. It's like, what? It's very exciting. And so trying to make different things or go get a coffee at different places, or when I go for a run, I like to run and I get in the habit of, because it's easy and I don't have to think, going and running the same track. I go to this run called the Bay Run. You run around this little bay. And I've done that so many times on repeat, on repeat, on repeat, that it's just like, I go on autopilot. I know what to do. There's nothing. But I remember the first time I ever did it, how like I was so much more aware of what was going on. Little things like that, getting a different coffee or getting coffee from a different place or running somewhere different is good. Or just trying something new. Or when you do use your phone or computer, looking at something different. I watch basketball videos on repeat all the time. What if I watch something different or something that is a little more, I'm a bit more active in it? I've tried to start reading the news more. I try to get a newspaper because the phone is just endless amounts of news. And that's been handy, but I haven't been doing that. I'm not going to lie to you. I forget about it. It's a funny thing of, I've gone into the habit of being a little bit resistant to trying new things or being psychologically active, because it's always easier sometimes just to go on autopilot, to resist thinking. But what I've noticed, as soon as you start going the extra mile, oh, actually, instead of going and sitting in this park that I always do, why don't I try something different? Once you do it, it feels so good or like engaging and new, and you're learning something, you're gaining something. That being said, it is nice to go back to a repeat routine as well. But I think as well, I've noticed it's probably helpful for me to try something else too. Just noticed, especially with the devices, you can forget what you really value and just go straight for the short term like hit, and those longer term things you like to do, that they can you can forget about them. I've just forgotten about a lot of the things I enjoy, and I think that maybe is also a contributing factor to this feeling of time just zipping by. Or maybe it's not the fact that it's fast, but it's that time's fast, but maybe it's more, the thing that scares me more is the fact that I don't feel awake while it's happening. I think I'd be okay when I get older, into my 60s, 70s, if I feel like life went like this, but at least I was awake. I think I'd be more okay with that than life went really quick and I felt half asleep through large chunks of it. But it is a bit of a constant battle, I think. Sometimes I'm really, why don't I do this? Or why don't I try this? Or let's keep working on that. And then I go into bits where I'm like, very drained, so I'm moping through life, being very like sleepy with it. So it's always a constant thing of resisting that urge to just be very sleepy through life. Yeah, that's what I've been thinking about. All this is well and good, but I actually need to put it into practice. I've had this similar conversation with myself, with other people. And sometimes I get really into it and I go, yeah. And again, I fall back into the rhythms, the patterns. It's so easy just to fall in a constant rhythm, but I want to keep trying to break it, keep trying to break it. So, this, all the talking and going, I'm aware of this and this, and this will help if I do this is great. But the thing I'm not very good at is just then, all right, then do it. Like, actually just do it. So that's the next step. Sometimes videoing it helps, but it's a consistency thing. Changing habits that I've had for a long time, just doing the same thing and going on autopilot. Don't want to think too hard sometimes because it's easier just to chill. But it's a trade-off. So anyway, thank you for listening. Goodbye.